Hey folks, welcome back. It has certainly cooled off quite fast. I was out here in just my hoodie and my band here that keeps the scragglies out of my face. So, yesterday's community post, folks, where I gave a comeback to a man that said that he considers women to be too butch for him to have much of anything to do with. He didn't want a woman that was too butch. So there is a history there. Now, some of you might have thought I come off a little too strong. Like I said, this person has been enabled all his life to be unmotivated. I don't like the word lazy, but unmotivated. He tries harder to get out of work than he would if he just did it. And he likes to manipulate people to do the work for him, to feel sorry for him. And he is quite capable of working. He's tried to get disability for this and that, and he's always been denied. Physical disability. I think they need to go the mental health facility because I think he's been enabled all his life. His mother really doted on him, and his wife, who does all the cooking, all the cleaning, all the outdoor work, all of the firewood. Well, he says that his wrist hurts today, or he doesn't feel good today. Well, that could come down to maybe depression. It might, but he's been this way all his life, and I've known him for the majority of his life. He counts on the kindness of people's good heart to do things for him. That's all well and good. Him and his wife have it all figured out. She's kind of the doting and submissive type. It's easier to do it than it is to hear the complaining and the excuses. So I know I've got a mouth on me. I know whatever I think usually spills right out. And sometimes I hear myself saying it as it's coming out. But this man has told me I'm doing everything that I do here, I do it wrong, or I could have done it this way, or how come I don't know better than to do it another way, which is his way, which he will not do, right? His wife hurt herself shoveling not too long ago, and she could not shovel for a while because she twisted her back. He did not go out and shovel, folks. He did not make an attempt to shovel. This is coming from immediate family. So they came over and shoveled, and when they went in to say, hey, you're all shoveled out, he said, I'm suffering awful with a sore wrist. So to each their own, right? I don't pay their bills, they don't pay mine. So, but that's where that comment came from. I know, I heard it, folks. I heard it from some of you. And maybe I should have explained a little bit more in that, but I have a high tolerance for people that have actual disabilities, and I will help them. And his condition, being enabled, learned helplessness, right, turns into a condition. learned helplessness is awful. It just is awful. I've seen it in the field that I work in. Learned helplessness. So that's that. All right. So we had 57 degrees one day, 44 degrees yesterday, and today got up to I think 37. So it's been really nice. That's been the pattern that's been happening. It'll be really, really unseasonably warm, and then we'll have a period of seasonal weather, and then we'll have warm. And this weekend we're supposed to get down to seasonal, where it's supposed to be below zero at night, or at least zero at night. So we're just going to have to adjust to that. Now, a friend of the family, he stopped in one day last week to ask me how I liked the weather. And it happened to be pretty nice out that day, and I said it could stay like this all winter long. We don't need any of this white stuff, which we got last night. It poured, and then it got real quiet, and then I looked out, and everything was white. So we don't need any more of the white stuff, in my opinion. It can rain as long as it's 57 degrees. It can rain. Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm all for a warm winter. I really am. Less wood to burn, less wood to cut next year, right? So I guess that's all I come on to say. I know there's a few of you who had questions on winter gloves, or at least one of you had questions on winter gloves. I'm still trying to figure out winter gloves that will keep my hands dry and warm. When it comes down to 0 degrees and below, I don't think many gloves will cut it. And if they do, they're really not tough enough to withstand. Like if I'm going out and I'm hauling water, or I'm chopping ice, they get wet, they'll keep my fingers dry. And then I go and grab an armload of wood. Well, the wood is rough and it puts holes in it, and then they're no longer waterproof, right? So you either got to have several different pair, which is what I do, and they're all by the wood stove, so they're all nice and warm when I go to try to put them on, and hopefully dry. But I no longer, or I try not to, even when I put wood in my stove, I no longer do it barehanded. I know of a lady who got a hardwood splinter in her hand, and she took care of it, but it got infected, which turned into blood poisoning, which was the end of her, right? So just a simple splinter, folks, could end your life, right? Now, this was back in a time when you run to the doctors for every little thing, and you try to take care of it at home, but there is a limit. You really should have some form of antibiotics that you keep with you in your house, in your storage. Know how to use the antibiotics, which antibiotics work for different things. And there are kits that you can buy, and I guess it's a phone tele thing, and they go down through your history verbally, and then I guess you can get a antibiotics kit, home antibiotics kit. That will, if you have this and this and this going on, you take this antibiotic for this amount of time, whatnot, right? There's other ways to get antibiotics, folks, that are legal. And if it ever come a time when you cannot get to the hospital or walk-in care or whatnot, it'd be awful nice reassurance to have something at home. Now, I know there's all kinds of herbal things out there. I am a big forager. Some of you that have been to this on this channel for a while, or my old channel, know that I'm pretty big on foraging. I used to teach a foraging class years ago. It was free. And we would go out and we would find edibles, and then we'd bring them back to my house, and we would cook with them, make teas with them, and have a meal. That got to be such a big a big thing that I just could no longer do it anymore because people are always stopping by and wanted a personal lesson, and I weren't getting anything done, right? So foraging, there's a lot of medicinals out there. You still have to know what you're doing. It's really good to have some good books. It's really good to go out with someone that knows what they are doing, really knows what they are doing, to teach you. Now, there's a lot of places online where you can get that information. A lot of YouTube channels give that information. I would go with one that has proven themselves correct, because really any Joe Blow could say, well, we can go out and pick poison ivy and we can eat it. I wouldn't trust those people. All it takes is one thing to go wrong, folks, or one misidentification to really, really screw your whole life up. It really will. So, education is key. Research is key. Having books on hand is key. Having someone that you know knows what they are talking about to walk you around could be beneficial. But just be careful of those people that think they know it, pretty sure they know it, and then try to teach it as fact. All right. So you all be good. I've got my animals to tend to, and it's going to be a little chilly tonight, so I got to bring all my water in. Right. Winter, you bring the water inside at night and bring it out in the morning, right? Just the way it goes, folks, when you don't have running water. So you all be good. Be safe. It's getting really, really weird and crazy out there. I've had a few conversations today that they started with me, and all their thoughts pretty much basically says, weird things are happening and none of it is any good. But they all go about it differently in their thought as well. So I will share at least a couple of those. Maybe the next video I'll do a shout out or 2 or 3 the next video, but it won't be today because I'm running out of time. Bye.